Hi. So now we are going to discuss about again spectrum next India on the eve of British conquest. What was the challenges before the Mughal external challenges was there like internal strength was not there. Mughal could not put a tough front against the external challenges. Several invasion northwestern border neglected the later Mughals and much efforts were extended to protecting the border. So Nadir Shah was the Mughal emperor for only 57 days 1739, but those days created aftershocks and transformed Indian politics, and it's shrinking the scope of Mughal empire and loose band of mountain warriors who ransacked the countryside seeking the wealth from village and towns. Trader behind the walls, like it was John Wilson be given. Nadir Shah was, according to the estimate from Peacock Thorn and Kohinoor diamond he taken from the India and official treasury and safe rich noble. So Nadir Shah gained the strategically importance over the Mughal Empire. Now Ahmad Shah Abdali was there in 1757 and he was the successor of Nadir Shah. So he continuously harassed the Mughal who tried to buy peace, and this was the two anti-social element at that time. So Abdali, after then Alamgir second Mughal emperor and the Rohilla chief. So we can say like Abdali defeated the Maratha in the third battle of Panipat. So Ahmad Shah Abdali defeated the Maratha in the third battle of Panipat. In this, we can see this now. Next, why many empires shaking battles at Panipat? See, the first battle of Panipat was between the Babur and Ibrahim Lodi, and the result was battle laid the foundation of Mughal Empire. Now, the second battle was the Akbar and Hamu, and continues to the Mughal rule and decided favor to the continuous to the Mughal rule. And the third battle Panipat was Maratha and Ahmad Shah Abdali put the end of Maratha ambition ruling over the India. Why Panipat as a favorite battle? Its a proximity to Delhi made it easier to Indian ruler to transport weapons, military, food supply to the battleground, and it's like Panipat surrounding region is flat and was suitable for the cavalry, and its construction was grand tank road by the Shesha Suri. It's become easier for conqueror find the way, and duration of monsoon rainfall it's short comparison to other area, and the artisans smith these regions were expert in making warfare related to material, and hence it became easier for so both parties to replenish their war material. Now we can discuss about the Bahadur Shah first. So he was the first Mughal after the decline of the Mughal Empire. So adopted the Pacific policy, Maratha, Rajputs, Jats, and he was the release of Mughal captivity. So in his reign, Sikh leader Banda Bahadur attacked the Muslim in the Punjab, hence he took the against Bahadur Shah was died. After then, Jahandar Shah was came as a emperor. So Jahandar Shah, there was a Zulfikar Khan in his reign, and he improved the financial condition. Then Farrukhsiyar was came. So there was a kingmaker Abdullah Khan and Hussein Ali Khan. They were known as the Sayed brother. So Sayed brother with help to Peshwa Bajirao Vishwanath. So it was the reign. Now after that, Rafiud Darajat was came, and after that the Mughal Shah, he was known as the Rangila, and he was like he defeated the by the Nadir Shah at the Battle of Karnal, and imprisoned the Mughal Muhammad Shah and arrest the Indus into Persian Empire. After that, Ahmed Shah Abdali was there. Sorry, Ahmed Shah was there, and he was like her hands state affair like the Queen Mother was there, and after then Alamgir II, there was a battle of Plazi at the time of Alamgir II. So now Shah Jahan's third and Shah Alam II were there in the battle of Panipat, and Battle of Buxar. There was a Shah Alam II. According to term of treaty Allahabad, he was taken under the East India Company protection resided Allahabad. He also issued the Farman granting to the company, and Bihar, Bengal and Orissa and Maratha took over the Delhi where they lived 1803. Protection of English after the defeat of Daulat Rao Scindia. Afterward, Mughal emperor became a pensioner of English. So now after that, Bahadur Shah second, Shah Alam second, then Bahadur Shah second were there, and he was like captured the English and sent to the Rangoon, and Mughal emperor came to the end at the reign of Bahadur Shah second. Now, what is the cause of the Mughal Empire? First is like they were not like their tendency for empire building, but after then they was not capable Mughal at the end, and cause of decline was structural and functional. So there was the process of disintegration of Mughal Empire was Aurangzeb, but pick up momentum only death of Aurangzeb. So there was several challenges: Jamidari, Jagidari, Sikh, Maratha, Rajputs, power to gain the keep their independence, and successor of Aurangzeb had the not capable rulers. Most of emperor after Aurangzeb proved to be incapable, weak, and licentious monarch. Shifting of allegiance of Jamidaris like collection of revenue was not that much good. Local administrator was not Rai, Raja Thakur, Koot, Deshmukh was like hereditary leader were there, and their loyalty was towards the British company. So powerful class to take advantage of weaker class. Jagirdari crisis was also there. The ruler of nobility because of noble played a central role in the administration, and Akbar had provided the well-knit organization. So this was the like mutual rivalry between jealousy context of power was the in Mughal Empire was very prevalent. Now, root of the disintegration of Mughal Empire was scientific development. Was there was no scientific development, trade and industry, economy was not there. Economic crisis was there. Maratha was the great like emperor who wanted to struggle with the Mughals at that time. Impact of all development like politics, court and security of northwestern passes. Now the various explanations are put forward revolves both about the collapse of Mughal Empire. So greatest economic administration curse of upheaval and store economic administration curse was there. Now more study was like we can say inefficiency of fund and weakness was represent Nadir Shah, Ahmed Shah Abdali. They was taking to capture the whole part of India. Okay, and we can say a common impression is that decline Mughal empire were due to the sovereignty was not there, not ability, energy, determination, lacking in the political insight, bigoted Musliman, and there was a Rajput was a great power at that time. Shivaji was the also great power. He vindicated the independence, and military reputation was not that much good. Okay, and hopelessness was there, humiliation was there. Now Mughal Empire and with its Maratha or lordship of Hindustan fell because of the core of Indian society. So it was a selfish and short-sighted corruption, inefficiency, treachery, and was disregards all branches. Now, what are the curse of Mughal downfall in nutshell? We can say the government of Mughal was personal despotism, and the latter Mughal were worthless and neglected the administration with the absence of definite law succession. Always occurred war of succession, stability of government, and fostered partisanship and patriotism and degradation of nobility, faction, cruel intrigue costing the empire heavily, deteriorating army. Empire had become a vast, unwidely, efficiently governed from the centrally authority, weak rulers, and Aurangzeb religious policy leading to revolts, Rajput, Sikh, Jat, Maratha. Aurangzeb Deccan policy failure was important cause of downfall. Invasion of Irani, Durrani kingdom. Okay, so these was the cause. So now economic and administrative problem was also present there like Jagirdari, Jamidari, enhance the income of Jagidars records, okay, and pressuring over the peasantry. Khalisa land was reduction of the Khalisa rent was the one reason. No significant scientific and technical advancement and improved the economy. So it was also the reason. And now problem was multiplied like Aurangzeb death after Aurangzeb death. So what the rise of regional state? It was a successor stage like Mughal emperor was there. Now emergence of autonomous polity. Now independent kingdom was there. Mughal control over the province. Example of Mysore, Rajput. New states were set up. Mughal emperor. Example of Maratha and Sikh Jat. Survey of regional kingdom like Hyderabad was Nizamul Mulk was the Chinglish Khan was there. After then Awadh was there like Barahanul Mulk, but that was taken by the English by the Mal administration. Bengal was there Murshid Quli Khan and Alivardi Khan, and Rajput were there independent as a Rajput formed the alliance Jai Singh and Durgadas Rathod. Mysore was there was a Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan enrolled in the constant warfare against the British. Kerala was there. Martand Verma and Travancore was the boundary of his Kanyakumari to Cochin. Jats were there in the Delhi, Mathura, and Agra, and oppressive policy against the Aurangzeb. Churaman, Badan Singh, Surajmal, these was the Jat. Sikhs were Govind Singh was there. Okay, Ranjit Singh was there. So, son of Mohan Singh, Ranjit Singh. So, leader of Sukar Chakliya Misl, and he was Ranjit Singh acknowledged British rights over the Satluj and territory of Ranjit Singh was there. Now he like tripartite treaty with the Shah Suja, an English company, and view to the placing Shah Suja on the throne of Kabul. So Ranjit Singh died, then successor could not keep the state intact. Now Maratha were there. Maratha was we can say Peshwa leadership was there, and there was a Balaji Bajirao Vishwanath and Bajirao second Rohilkhand and Farrukhabad. There was also rivalries in Rohilkhand and Farrukhabad. Nature of the limitation of regional state was what? Actually, their polity was regional character, functional, not collaborative in different groups, jamidar, merchant, local noble, and the rule had care of local interest only to maintain the themselves, of course. And there were exceptions like Mysore ruler did not recognize the local chief. Provincial ruler failed to develop the system based on sound financial administration, military organization, and their policy was backward, no science and technology. Okay, so what is the reason of the decline of like there was agricultural crisis, jagirdari crisis, jamidari crisis, internal disputes were there. Socio-economic condition were not that much good, like extreme poverty, extreme luxury. We can say both were exist. So extreme lavishness or extreme poverty can't exist. Agriculture was sometimes like it's supported by peasants like miserably inadequate and Jamidar Jagidar. They were just exploiting the farmer. Trade and industry was like self sufficiency just, and the foreign policy was not that much strong. So what we can even say items to export cotton, textile, raw silk, fabric, and what we were importing. It's Dhaka, Murshidabad, Patna, and that was the area. Now, China was tea, sugar, Arabia was coffee, gold, Tibet was gold musk, Africa ivory drugs, and Europe was woolen cloth and copper. We were exporting the textile, silk, hardware, indigo, saltpeter, opium, rice, wheat, sugar, pepper, spices, and stones and drugs. Shipbuilding industry was there. Jamorin Calicut, so Muslim Kunjali, Maracay. This was the area where navy was very good. Okay, Portuguese was the uh, main capturing. Status of education was not that much good. Like study of physical and natural science, technology, geography was pretty present there, but elementary education in the Muslim was quite widespread. Now Pathshala and Maktaba was respectively established there. Some of the famous center was Sanskrit education, Varanasi, Tirhut, Mithila, Utkala Madrasa. These was the Ajimabad Patna was the main center of Persian education. Social setup was many castes and many sects were present at that time. Large scale of making caste status quite proved in part of the country. Council, panchayats, enforced castes, norms, regulations. Sunni, Shia, nobles, Afghani, Irani, Turani, many caste. Position of women was not that much good. Like social group in Kerala, Kerala was good in that. But other field was like exploitative social custom and tradition, parda, sati, child marriage, polygamy. Okay, and menace of slavery also presenting at that time, famine, natural calamity, distress, poverty, and development of art and architecture was like is established like Hyderabad, Lucknow, Jaipur. So the new school painting was achieved distinction. The painting of Rajputana Kangra school. Now, what are the summary like Mughal Empire? What decline of Mughal Empire? Weak successor, absence of defined law of succession, Aurangzeb religious and Deccan policy, degradation of ruler and noble, deteriorating the army to vast an empire, external invasion like Nadir Shah, Ahmed Shah, Abdali, Durrani, Irani, advent of Europeans like politics and disintegration of empire, shifting of allegiance of Jamidari, Jagirdari crisis, rise of regional aspiration, rise of regional states was there, successor states was the Hyderabad, Bengal and Awadh, and independent state was Mysore, Kerala and Rajput. So Mysore and Rajput, Kerala, these three are the independent state. And the rise of regional state was their successor was the Hyderabad, Bengal and Awadh. New state was the Maratha, Sikh and Jat and Afghan. So Sikh, Jat, Maratha and Afghan was new. Socio-economic condition was like agriculture was not that much stagnant, like technologically backward, peasant were paid to the revenue. Trade and industry was not that much good. Raw silk, saltpeter, hardware, indigo, saltpeter, opium, rice was there. Textile industry was not good. Okay, and shipbuilding industry flourished there, but education was like elementary education imparted Pathshala and Makatpa, and there was absence of science and technology. Society was also divided into the many subcasts, and Muslim were also divided consideration caste, race, tribe, status, and the art and architecture was that like Savai Jai Singh built the pink city of Jaipur, astronomical observation, Delhi, Jaipur, Mathura, Banaras, and Ujjain. Painting school of Kangra and Rajputana came into province. And northern India, Urdu language was poetry took place, and regional language development, Tamil language. Okay, so this was how like British wanted to capture the India.